There is that way to look at it. There's also the way that they get to set the pace now. They don't have to wait around for Nip to run their stuff. They don't have to deal with that side. They can just get in here. They can have a prepared pistol strategy that they've run a bunch of times. They've played Nuke a lot in the last 3 months. And so they 15 wins, 12 losses on Nuke in the last 3 months. Anonymo should be comfortable on this map, and there's a reason why they picked it. They should have a chance.
Got very specific grenades being lined up. Yep. Mollies as well. This is a heavy utility pistol round. The Julies will be denied, and in go Anonymo into this A bomb side. This is looking great for them so far. 4 versus 1 as Plopsky's wondering what's happened to his teammates. Still has the high ground. Got himself a headshot at the very least. Now 3 versus 1. Looks like Kyler might be moving away with the bomb, considering going down the vent. He's only got 29 HP, so this could be real awkward if he actually tries to commit to this. Plopsky unsure as to what to do, and he is surrounded at the back. There is a pistol round for Anonymo. Well, they won the first pistol in the previous game, got reset. Let's see what they can do on this occasion.
Yeah, both pistols, there was, clean idea behind it. Clearly something that they've run a bajillion times and that they've practiced quite a bit. They all know what they need to do. And so it's on Nip to react at that point. And the only thing that Nip can hope to do at that point are just hit crazy headshots. And, well, that didn't happen for NIP. So Anonymo ready for it. And now they get to go ahead and have that strong start again. Like you said, last time around, however, Nip won that follow-up round. But Nip were on the T side then, so they could run a strategy that they would like and that they could get control of. Now Nip have to react to Anonymo. And so I think that Anonymo should actually be able to start chaining some rounds together here on this T side, and we can actually see what this team is capable of. Yeah, get out of there, Rez.
It's a good start for Anonymo. 4 more players to find. Device has left himself $700 in the hole.
Actually, really not too shabby in terms of stats for Anonymo on this map.
Oh, they were really lining up there. I like that sticker on the print stream. Looks pretty good. The NIP sticker.
I'll ignore that.
Hey man, it was hard. Like that old logo, it was difficult to apply it tastefully to a weapon, I found. So in that respect, I think the pop of color is arguably an improvement.
Okay. What about the shape? Are you a fan then of this new logo? You're a fan of this new logo?
It's not my favorite logo, but I don't hate it.
Okay.
So I don't know what I would do if I had to like redesign an NIP logo. I'm not sure what I would do with it. But at least the color has more pop to it, whereas the other one was a bit dark.
They have definitely gone in that direction. Yeah, the lime green.
Yeah.
Really pop out there. And nice shot in the end. And he will survive. So they get to hold on to the Deagle. Hampus gets to hold on to that Deagle going into the next round. He'll be happy about that. The usual spray battle going on in front of Squeak. And, well, as far as the start is concerned, this is ideal for Anonymo. They've done exactly what they set out to do. And it should continue for them here because this is now a hard eco coming up for NIP. And so NIP not really investing too much in this round. Device setting himself for that AWP in the following. And, well, Anonymo should just see some straight-up bullying tactics coming in from them now.
Very interested to see what the first buy round looks like for both squads. For now, we've got the Desert Eagles and P250s for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Anonymo maybe considerably more comfortable on Nuke, but again, the real test is yet to come here on this T side. That's just over a minute away. But anti-eco is also important, especially in terms of pacing. If an IPR to have numbers alive for a while, then the clock will become a concern for Anonymo in terms of bomb plant pressure and such. Lots of grenades being deployed. I know that no one is at the CT vent for now, and they've breached the ramp, heading towards the B bomb site. You can see Keys looking for that rotation, trying to cover that vent. He has got an AK though, so he could become a target in the meantime. Device is just entertaining, delaying that bomb plant. You can see Minio still holding angles on him, and he also has the bomb.
Well, that smoke is unfortunate. NIP were ready to just pop that door open. Now, however, 4 players going at it.
That's a really brazen open plant not completely covered by the Mac 10 on the ramp there. So they do lose a player kind of for free, Anonymo. 4 versus 3 is now made even, and things are going kind of difficult. Well, the AK's been taken away, so Rez now in a 1 versus 2, trying to get that 1v1. So there are some awkward moments there for Anonymo. Certainly that plant was questionable with no smoke in control and some angles to be had for Ninjas in Pyjamas. But it's a clean sheet for now. And again, the first test for Anonymo, the first real test is here. AWP out for Device. AWP for Minho, 4 AKs for the remainder of the squad.
Snacks Up didn't last long, did it?
I wonder if this is by design or based on performance. We shall see. Oh, Device, I think he caught a little of that jump peak, but he's not going to stay in the same position for too long.
Right now he's just hoping that somebody's going to peek. He's just getting massive info. Not seeing any movement yet. Minute 15, and Anonymo should come around that corner. There it is.
Single scope, respect. Oh, and there it is. As you said, double scope, and he can't see all those angles there. It's a nice kill from him, and he immediately rotates the AWP to a different position. But as we can see, there's big presence on the outside. Hampus will drop the bomb and fall away. Kylo looks like he was kind of taken by surprise there. And it is becoming a shooting gallery now for Ninjas in Pyjamas. 5 versus 3, no response from Anonymo. Snacks has rescued the bomb, but can they rescue a round out of this? Innocent looks up just as Rez peeks out. And that's great timing from Rez as well. Rather than holding the angle all the time, he peeks every 7 seconds or so. False sense of security equals a free frag for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Still with 500 HP in this round. Snacks will not see the CT moving behind him. Makes his way to decon. Potentially a bomb plant in this, but maybe not. Well, they do 0 damage in that round, Anonymo, in the first buy round. So indeed, the real test has begun, Semler.
And Device really locking it down. We're going to get the replay here. Patiently playing in the yard. This is exactly where we expect to see Device opping. He likes to play from the garage most of the time, and then otherwise, I mean, he just goes right through all of his comfort spots there, you know? Garage, and then he goes up to the top, gets that bird's eye view, and really just maximizes the long line that this AWP offers him of control in the outer space. And so, little molly there just to let things know. And a hard eco coming in here from Anonymo.
Really hard. Pure Glocks.
I like it. Go and say hi to Plopsky. He's got an A4 though, so it should be possible for him to get an Eco Cobra moment here. A little timeout actually just getting called here. But there we go. Anonymo now going to be running right on through, and we are going to get Plopsky putting himself in a position to just mow him down.
Oh, Device has come for support as well. Just the right time. That's a great 3-man spray down. And there's the bomb. USP to finish off. Not expecting some Kevlar, so he can't just go for the headshots here. Burst fire from Minho. That's curious, because Device is very far away, but maybe he thought he was closer. Anyway.
Must have thought he was low.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get that second round now on the board for NIP, and this is it. No AWP this time for Anonymo. So expecting some closer pressure coming in from these guys now that they can actually get rolling with it.
Perhaps avoiding Device makes more sense than challenging him at this point, because they really were sitting ducks for him.
I mean,
you can see Device trying to thwart the early grenades on the outside from Anonymo. They didn't really come this time, just the first one, the initial one, if you will. There's a focus towards the ramp. Maybe allowing Device to keep his eyes on the smoke outside. They can try and use numbers towards this ramp. Great preemptive flashbang from Plopsky. Kind of looking at plays towards Hell. So ramp's been taken by Anonymo. They'll want to keep a player on the lobby at least in case of aggression from the CT side. Now, what is their second play?
I mean, good communication coming in here from NIP as well. Device has to shift over to watch ramp now. from outside, and Rez moves to main so that he can keep control of yard and watch Device's flank. So some good comms coming through here from the Ninjas, making sure that there are no gaps for Anonymo to take advantage of if they were to be moving out in the yard.
This is a very awkward position for Plopsky, and his help has just been, well, has it been eliminated? I'm not sure. Down he goes. You can see Rez now taking control of control. The rotation's already on the way. Maybe a flank later on. Rez trying to find a gap at the edge of that smoke, nothing doing just yet. You can see Device going for some wallbangs into the site. Those wallbangs go in both directions, of course. He can spray the vents. ZTR with 2, and this is becoming difficult for Anonymo, or is it? Rez now 1v3, finds one close to double doors, but he will be subject to spray from multiple players. And after numbers towards the ramp, Anonymo continue towards the B bomb site, and they do find success. Very expensive round for Ninjas in Pajamas.
That is just so fortunate that he manages to get that kill on Hampus. That throws everything out of whack. Plopsky with no support on the lower side, of course, is just going to get swarmed. So failure to perform there. But we'll see. They do have the money for the AWP again. They do have plenty in the bank, Nip, after their 2 dominant rounds, and so they will not just fall straight into an eco territory. Although Anonymo, perhaps thinking that it could be a low economy situation. Look at this peek from Device, you mad lad.
Absolutely clean. Dumps a smoke grenade, not much for Anonymo to do now. You can see a focus towards the vent. Nice spray. Rez with a transfer. There'll be a trade through the smoke, but it's not looking terrible for NIP now, 4 versus 3. Still with control of the A bomb site. Anonymo may realize that there was a player who made his way down the vent. That's Device with the AWP, of course. Just waiting for a play to be made, and now he'll start to rotate. So we're looking at a plan B or a plan C for Anonymo, and this is where, from the interview of Innocent and Freya, that maybe they're going to have some issues, differing opinions on what to do. Of course, with the general struggles of being in a less than ideal situation. This juncture of the round, minute on the clock. You can see Hampus with the off angle. This is going to be a tough one for Anonymo.
But they have time. They have 50 seconds. But yes, Hampus is holding main, and Squeak at the same time sees that smoke go by. And, oh, but still managing to pick up the kill. A double as well. Way more than he should get. 1 for 1, fine. But a double kill, that is a huge play from Hampus.
Carla's got to try and jiggle for information. ZTR's playing the off angle up top. They're simply playing for the bomb plant. Kyla's got so many angles to check. T-vent, CT vent, Squeaky, all the off angles from those places, and ZTR will eventually spot him. Too many angles to deal with. Ninjas in Pajamas stabilized. 3 players survive. And that was a chance for Anonymo to break Ninjas in Pajamas. If they could have put them on eco, then they could get a really juicy score from this half. But instead, they are on the edge of an eco, and it seems it will be a force buy. So we've got some rifles coming out, including a Galil for Minho, but not everybody will have the luxury of a primary weapon.
I was curious if we were going to see some kind of quick strategy coming out here from Anonymo. Straight down secret, apply maximum pressure. Could be an option. Hampus is going to be close main. Device not in a position to take... oh, no, they managed to gap it. The incendiary screws up their smoke wall. Very cool to see it work so well, and that just utterly destroys the entire strategy for Anonymo. They cannot get past the gap. They have to deal with the AWP and Hampus.
Yeah, they weren't willing to, as soon as they saw that gap, they weren't willing to move on anymore. But the double peak, elevated position, will get their first kill of the round. Moving some weapons around now. Snacks goes Deagle only, as he's only got 11 HP. Can't really take a fight. But what do? Anonymo. 2 flashes and an incendiary. What plan will they put together? They've got to MacGyver some kind of idea here. You can see the aggression from Ninjas in Pajamas as they've emerged into the lobby position.
You have so much ground you need to cover now if you're Anonymo. How do you even get back into lobby?
Yeah, Device still has a laser outside as well, so they know they have to be close because there's nowhere else that they could be. Rez gets the bomb carrier, and again, there's no one to trade, really. Kylar just staring at the wall here, spots the barrel of Rez, gives his position away, and here's ZTR creeping, but Snacks will catch him. You can spray through this wall as well. As you can see, Anonymo hoping for a kill. 24 seconds now, and there's just too many CTs, too many angles, too much disadvantage for Anonymo, and the score is tied.
Well done on NIP keeping their cool in that situation, and that's just, I mean, again, you see these the players, they throw these Molotovs out by Big Red, by the Big Red container in the yard, to try and screw up the smoke wall that the terrorists are trying to put up so that they can get to the stairs and get down into the lower bomb site. So that's one of those rare examples where it works perfectly, where there's just a huge gap in the wall, and you can see just how how completely that screws up Anonymo's strategy.
Score-wise, Anonymo are doing okay. Because they won that pistol in the consecutive rounds, they've got 4 of 8 rounds on the T side. So that's definitely given them some breathing room, and we can see how important that pistol round was in the way that Ninjas in Pyjamas have been winning the round since. And again, it's eco territory for Anonymo. Mostly Glock snacks with a P250. Some raised armor penetration. Plopsky again with a very difficult task. Drop some flames on the ramp. That should activate some kind of rotation. You can see that Hampus is also downstairs. Device target practice around the hell position. We've got the flicks as well. He's got help from up top soon, down to the USP, and he's going to try and get that last kill, but Rez will steal it. No damage done by Anonymo, but it is what it is. 5-4.
The fist bumps go around. Nice dodge on the anti-eco, and it's looking like these guys are dialed in and ready to go. Definitely hit their stride after overpass as we get a tactical timeout called by Anonymo. And you mentioned the pistol round and the rounds that they were able to get off of the back of that. The pistol round on the T side, right, you can really set it up. You can have a strategy that you've revised and prepared for that moment where everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to do. Well, this should be a similar scenario now where you're going to have fairly decent money. You should be able to get coordinated on what it is that you actually want to run in here. So far, so good picking up ramp control. So they have that going for him right now. Is there anything that they can play off of that? Because Plopsky, you know, he's taking these pot shots and falling back immediately. Ooh, Nip extending the timeout. Yeah, are we just going to have it back and forth like this? Or actually, would have to check the rule book. Pretty sure they should be able to extend timeouts indefinitely. If they wanted to use 4 timeouts in a row, they could.
I hope they don't.
I mean, obviously, yeah, it would just be agonizing. But I think it is a thing. You could do that, technically. But of course, these are the RMR rule set. This is the Valve Major rule set, so it could be different from the usual tournament rules that we have.
Device looking real sharp. With the aim in general, from the beginning of this series to now, lovely to see the flicks there. 10 for 4 is Device at the moment. Top fragging for the CT side and top fragging on the server. Looks like he may be going for an aggressive play here, Device, with the AWP. Oh, no, just going downstairs. Thought maybe it was a cheeky ramp play towards lobby, but in fact it's not. So we're seeing some earlier smokes from Anonymo, it seems. Haven't seen too much of this just yet, but again, Device is in the perfect position. Maybe a step ahead of his opponent, looking for a peek up top on the silo. Snacks being careful, but for how long? Device on fire, and there's a glorious, delicious headshot onto Key. They cannot avoid him, regardless of the utility. They will hit a rotation, though, as they try to focus on the A bomb site. Minio trying to trade for his teammate. He'll be able to do that at the very least. But again, ZTR in that same position, getting one more kill. Plopsky coming through to help his teammates, leaving Snacks to wonder what could have been. His shadow may be spotted there on that main position. And he won't get much done either. Number 6 on the board for Ninjas in Pyjamas. And again, very key for Anonymo when they eventually go to the CT side that they won the pistol, because it has been 6 of 7 rounds for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Plopsky always ready to help his teammates. Just, he's out there, man.
But he's the guy who seems to really just be throwing himself into the mix at all times now for the team. The team needed that kind of dirty work guy, the cleaner who's going to show up and do everything that nobody else wants to do. And whereas before they really relied heavily on him for frags, now that you've got Rez who's starting to feel his game again, and you've got Device on the AWP, maybe there's not as much pressure on Plopsky and he can finally start having fun with the game again.
Hold on a second. Might be a bomb plant in this. There's a smoke as well to try and isolate the fights. Plopsky doing his best to slow things down and delay. You can see Device creeping as well with the Desert Eagle, but down he goes. Hold on a second. Could this be an unlikely round for Anonymo? Perhaps not now if Minio stuck at CT vent. Look how expensive it is, though. 3 players dead. Ninjas in Pyjamas aren't short of money, but if Anonymo could just string some rounds together, then I mean, 8 rounds is possible here. It is possible. Maybe not probable, but we'll be optimists. The 5 AKs will be out for Anonymo. Again, they're really struggling to avoid Device, who is now 11-5. Wall of smokes outside and around Prior. Up secret goes Device. What for this round? Again, we've got those early Molotovs, those incendiaries from Ninjas in Pyjamas to try and thwart any early grenades from Anonymo outside, any early smokes. There won't be one on this occasion. Nice pop flash, but there's no mouse 1 response from Anonymo. Device now with the AWP on the ramp. And I thought he was going to make a play such as this in the round prior. Anonymo just biding their time. 4 Molotovs, 5 smokes, and we can see the grenades starting to be selected now by the Polish squad.
Gonna get the wall up outside, and then that puts Key in a position to be able to maneuver around them, perhaps catch somebody peeking for information. But Rez, dude, this aggression from Rez, does this work? Innocent. They're gonna be coming around, and he's got somebody there to trade immediately. Oh, Rez, so nasty that he gets out of there. Unbelievable. Not gonna find the follow-up. No help from anybody on the upper side. He was on his own.
Yeah, he's seen the bomb, though. This is a very key flank from Key, no pun intended. I can't believe I did that. Still 2 players on the A bomb site, both with high ground advantage. Plopsky can run distraction, and ZTR still here, but they'll both get popped. And Anonymo have a real chance now at the 5th round, draining the money for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
That is interesting. What was going on with the comms on Nip's side that he was not able to get any support? No flash, no smoke, no nothing to help him out. Because he could have got out of there for free res. And yet he ended up having to take another fight, and that at a disadvantage. He's not going to have the peeker's advantage there. And so just a nasty sort of scenario there for Rez. Definitely expected some form of help to come in from the teammates. So a little bit of an error there from Nip, costing them an advantage in the round, and that ends up really throwing things out of whack. As we can see, Anonymo collecting their 5th round in this T side.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for them now. They really have to get a consecutive round here. Because if they do, then there's a very real target of 8 rounds on a T side for Anonymo. But they need to stop these early picks by Ninjas in Pyjamas. And look at how much map control Device has. Whether he gets a kill or not, that can really allow NIP to concentrate elsewhere. No challenge outside whatsoever. The pace changing from Anonymo, flashes towards the ramp, and there's personnel as well. Minio taking position. Now, will they pursue? It's been really awkward for Plopsky on that B bomb site, but Key's just crept into A in the meantime, looking for that second kill, but the Device is ready. This will pull NIP out of position, though, leaving Plopsky with less support than he might have liked. Smokes towards control. They really need a rotation into his Pyjamas. Plopsky trying to avoid getting traded, bought some time for the rotation. Hamper's coming in from the back as well. Trades continue, 2 versus 2, minute on the clock. Got Molly's in control as well. Smoke is still up as bombs getting planted.
But these smokes are clearing. There's a window now for NIP to stop this from happening.
Oh boy. Snack's going for the fake. The no scope from Device doesn't quite land, and back he goes towards that B bomb site. Has enough information for a quick plant. Rez won't have an angle just yet, but takes out the cover. That leaves Snacks in a 1 versus 2. Now he has to deliver, but Device won't allow him to fire a single shot.
Very well played there. I like it from Anonymo as well, though. They've managed to condition Plopsky to start falling back to that lower side immediately, rather than going for any shenanigans, rather. Plopsky, he's constantly falling back to the site. And so Anonymo started to figure that out and said, okay, we can start pushing down to the bomb site together as a group. We won't get challenged before we actually make our exit out. Still, Plopsky managing to find a kill there is huge. Perhaps they expected him to be holding bottom left towards the cranny there, towards the Nuke, instead of on the right. But that's a rough turn of events for Anonymo, because it feels like they're getting a read on the situation. It's just the post plant, or once the dust settles, they're not able to get out ahead.
I think he was just spotted there. Device heard the shot, and he knows they're expecting him now, and chooses to fall back immediately, very far back. But again, this could slow the approach for Anonymo. You can see one by T-Red already. Oh, that was a chance.
Freebie.
A rare miss from Device. Bomb spotted outside as well. Focusing now on T-Red. You can see Key there. Ooh, we have smokes from Anonymo. They're holding on to 3 at present. just creeping outside with the guns at the moment.
It's so surprising to see Device miss free kills like that. He's so consistent normally at hitting just the easy ones, you know. That's what makes him so good. So an unforced error that's a pretty rare thing for Device. And he's given up yard quite a bit, playing all the way back from spawn.
You can see he's unsure as to what has potentially been compromised. But that Molotov may tell a story towards Secret. He'll see that. Could give him an idea of where people are and aren't. But again, they don't have the best angles. Suddenly there's all the footsteps towards the ramp. The AUG is out, cutting them down like trees in the forest. 3 kills and the bomb. That is outstanding from Plopsky. Melting them with the AUG. You can see Kylar trying to catch a rotation now and create something for his team. Had a chance on Rez, but was shooting the gun rather than the head. Now Snacks again in a 1 versus 4. Easily dispatched of at the end there by Ninjas in Pyjamas, who survive with 4. 9-5 on their CT side.
Yeah, pure frustration here for Anonymo, who cannot seem to get anything going. Even when they're giving big opportunities to get through, the spacing was good. It's just that clever off angle from Plopsky bought him just enough time. You can see it's a nice spot to hide behind, and it's just not common to see anybody holding there. Anonymo may even be just expecting him to be playing from ramp and ready to back off. Again, trying to play off that information. And so Plopsky, the veteran, changing it up, realizing that perhaps he was getting a bit predictable there. Works wonders. And now, well, 5-on-5, forced by from Anonymo. Not a whole lot to work with, and so they're going for a lot of aggression on the other side.
Yeah, Rez is getting 1v1s for free here. It's a good start. Key, with a stroke of luck, perhaps, gets a nice upgrade as well. 3-on-3 as Anonymo look for one last round in his first half. You can see Key playing off of those shots as well, running back into the hands of Hampers. 2-on-2, fast-moving round now as Plopsky's got 15 HP in a 1 versus 2. They're not entirely sure where he is, but they'll soon find out. But Snacks has a nice angle, I'm sure. You see Minho looking around, and there it is. 6 rounds for Anonymo, maybe more than we were expecting. Again, the pistol round was key, and that gives them a chance as they move towards the second half. This is their pick of Nuke, and maybe we'll find out why after the break. The Julies are out again, this time in the hands of Kylar, who also has a HE grenade. Double HEs in a defuse kit on a CT pistol is very unorthodox. Normally you'd see a smoke and a defuse kit, so Anonymo seem to have a hard idea of what NIP's intentions are, and we'll see if that's correct. Some utility from NIP as well, thrown towards the A bomb site, but it seems that B, or ramp at least, are the intentions. But again, they're baiting Anonymo all over the shop. Those HEs have been deployed by Anonymo. So shows some presence to A, shows some presence to ramp, and back into A they go. But there are still 3 players here for Anonymo, and they've got to find this crossfire. Indeed, they will. Device jumping circles next to the blue box. Not sure what's going on there, but they got absolutely deleted by Anonymo.
And Kyler with the double dualies. The dualies on top of Hut. Nip tried to pull that off, and it didn't work on their pistol round. And this time around for Kyler, quad kill with the dualies. Sick. That's a feel-good moment.
Noble strat from NIP. Tried to pull rotation towards the B bomb site with the double pump.
Would that be noble, though? That sounds more shifty to me, you know? Is it noble to use distracting tactics instead of just going straight forward? You know?
I agree with you.
Sounds like a snake strategy to me.
Absolutely.
Nothing noble about it.
Well then, we have the force buy, the full force buy from Ninjas in Pajamas. Device less concerned with AWP money on a T side here. So nice start from Key with the MP9, and you'll hear the footsteps of Hampus and punish him for them. Early chance for Anonymo to build a bit of cash. 5 versus 3 at present. Again, Nuke is the pick of Anonymo. All right.
Yeah.
Nice, very, very calm shots. Not really distracted by the urgency of Snacks. Delivers the kill. See how much more expensive it can become. Plopsky, he's the bomb carrier. Got to be careful here, but on this occasion, he will be finished off, leaving Device with 28 HP. 28 HP.
He's been chilling out, though, dude. Still out here. They know it, too, though, so they can just back off, play the range, and there's the kill. So, 8th round on the board for Anonymo. And this is going to be a round of eco coming in here from NIP, as that was a force buy. So this was Key at the start. Bopping him. Nicely done. And, well, very straightforward stuff coming in so far. It's the beginning of the half, and so we get to see just how hard of a lockdown are Anonymo able to get. And this is their map pick as well, so keep that in mind. Overpass was a slaughter. NIP just went to work on them. But so far, Anonymo showing perhaps the reason why they were able to actually qualify through, qualify for the event, get in here and start doing some damage.
Well, they've won both pistol rounds, which is a huge help for them. It's good for about 6 of the 9 rounds that they're heading towards at present. So that could be a false sense of security for us. We shall see once the buy rounds come through how they can defend versus the strategical prowess of Ninjas in Pajamas.
I love that HE. Just the bombardment.
You can throw HE up here from heaven as well.
Dude, I just can't kill him. There we go. Hey, there we go. So, but the thing is here that's going to be frustrating is that they lack a bomb plant. And so it's not the, I mean, they'll just have to go for AKs. There's no op possible for Device if he wants Kevlar. So we'll get AKs, we'll get nades. Pretty much a full buy coming up here for NIP. Almost said Astralis. It was close. I was thinking of Device. You know, just
Device in Pajamas.
Device. Yeah, it's definitely it's a habit that I'm gonna have to break. Device, Astralis, Device, Astralis. No, Device, Nip now. Device, Nip.
Let's see how fast this round is for Ninjas in Pajamas again. Device could have left some money for AWP, but he didn't want to, so they were looking for a 5 AK play, and Snacks is back on AWP. So perhaps it depends on map and half who is AWPing. Creeping through the smoke, Hampus will make Anonymo a little more comfortable with a free kill. The remaining 3 heading towards the ramp now. We have an off angle from Minio with the French gun. We'll see how powerful it can be on this occasion. Well, he's made it 2. That's definitely progress for Anonymo. 4 versus 2 now, as what's left of NIP has a minute to try and plant the bomb at the very least. The mollies towards control. Goes way too deep, though, for where the CT is. Not that they can see that. Listen, creeping up just as Device tries to jump in the window. It's looking great for Anonymo right now. Indeed, it will remain great for this round. 4 players alive. Not that much damage done by NIP. They took out a FAMAS. You can see there are now 3 AK-47s and an AWP in the hands of Anonymo. So things are looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, this is looking really solid for Anonymo. And, I mean, thing is that as far as Anonymo are concerned, they've just been going to town in the Tier 2 scene. But as far as Anonymo are concerned now in this series, they've got nothing to lose. And so they can play aggressive. They can take those positions like the one that Snacks had with the AWP and Hut. Exactly what Device did. Device has got nothing to fear on an individual level going up against Anonymo. So he can play aggressive with that op. He can try and take those fights. We need to see that same level of an aggression coming out from Anonymo if they're going to be effective against an IP. So showing that they're not afraid to take fights here on the CT side and that they're not done yet in this series. Plopsky, though. Look at that smoke. Innocent nearly caught out. And there's Plopsky catching out the main man.
Plopsky turrets into the A bomb site. Minho, oh, he's looking for the impact frags now. Did he see both players? Because they're lining up for him. He's got to kill. Oh my God, ZTR so fast. There was such huge opportunity to turn things around, but now it's Snacks versus 3 instead. On the ramp. And I'm not sure that there's much else for him to contribute to this round. We'll see what he chooses to do. I can only imagine only one of those NIP players was spotted in the ramp position. It's very unfortunate for Anonymo. But because of their good start to this half, they've got a full buy in the hole. Saving the AWP would also help. But it could be a much worse situation for them. You can see the Ninjas playing within an inch of their economy at present. But this will be their first round in the second half NIP.
Indeed. And as they're starting to get a bit of that information, starting to fish it. Okay, so if you're playing main, there should be a punish possible there. And we can see how they're making adjustments to take advantage of that. Probably going off of, there is a bit of tape to go off of when it comes to Anonymo on the CT side and what they tend to do, but that's mainly against the Tier 2 opponents, the Sinners, the Dignitas, those teams that are out there right now in these online qualifiers and in these online leagues. Those are the teams that Anonymo are playing against right now. And so there's going to be info to go off of there. It's a question of whether or not they're going to change anything or if they're going to fall back into patterns. And, well, if you manage to put a little bit of pressure on a team, they should fall back into patterns, and that's where you should be able to start punishing those patterns because you should be aware of what it is that they're comfortable with going into the match. NIP are a team that will do homework, and they will have a strategy in mind.
All those AKs that Anonymo had swiftly taken away. Snacks now with an aggressive play. Here we go. He has warmed up, it looks like. Maybe just way more comfortable on Nuke rather than Overpass. And Anonymo taking the fight to Ninjas in Pajamas. They're not laying back whatsoever.
Excellent. Exactly what had to happen. And we can get the follow-up peek here. This is sick.
Yeah, ZTR stuck in this angle now. It's the bomb as well.
This is bad news bears here for NIP. They need to do a little bit of damage to the economy. If they all go down, and this is a perfect round for Anonymo, Anonymo's bank is going to recover a little bit, and that's just not going to help things for NIP. Device now has to back off. He has no idea what's going on. Did they push through yard? Is he really going to sit back here for 50 seconds?
It looks like we got a real match.
AK.
It looks like we've got a real match. We have a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. I was quite worried on Overpass, but this is a very different kettle of fish entirely.
Yeah, clearly got a game plan. Getting aggressive out here on Nuke. They're more comfortable on Nuke by all means, and that shouldn't really come as too much of a shock. If I remember off the top of my head, they just have an atrocious win rate on, 25% win rate on Overpass for Anonymo. So it's not a strong map for him. Nip clearly had a game plan going into it, and so the punish was there. Now going into the side of Nuke. Anonymo have played Nuke 27 times in the last 3 months. Like they've got a bit of experience on this map.
Odd body. Again, Snacks doing the exact same play, and this is not what you would expect, which is why it's awesome. I love to see the aggression. Hampus is going to be the one creeping around the smoke, deleted by Key. And now that's a lack of information. You can see the focus of the rest of NIP is elsewhere. So Anonymo with some good info, and you can see NIP raising the pace, trying to catch them out of position. Plopsky will chase down towards the B bomb site, but not quite hit the mark there. Minho will stand his ground, and indeed now there's 3 of them that go either side of the smoke, and perhaps there's a chance for NIP.
They smoke down to block off Decon, and now they can get in here. Device also making a bit of noise. No, there it is, instant shot. Brings it back to a 3-on-3, and the bomb planted. Now they can get into post-plant positions here, Nip, and life can get very difficult for Anonymo. Retaking with an AWP is never fun.
2 defuse kits on the remaining 3 players. Some utility as well, smoke on the molly. They can clear out some positions, as we can see. Device and ZTR remain. ZTR with a nice angle for a swing. Can he get both of them? Indeed, he can. Headshots, of course. Snacks now. Alone versus Device and ZTR. That's a deep molly, and ZTR's dead. Device just hiding. Needs to try and pick his time wisely. Snacks with a P250, and it's too late for him to win the round, but he can take out all the remaining NIP players.
Just going on the egg hunt right now. Collect all the grenades. But that's a big round for NIP, Bardolph. That makes such a big difference for him, especially considering it went south and Hampus just getting caught out in the yard. I mean, they were at a disadvantage, and they still managed to fight through.
Huge spray down from ZTR. Back and forth now. Perhaps overpass was a false sense of security for Ninjas in Pajamas. They might have thought this will be an easy sweep, but they certainly have a game on their hands. We're trading rounds now, back and forth the last 4 rounds. And this is a key round for both squads. Money starting to get lower. Snacks goes down to the vents. Well, instant smoke from Innocent, but instant kill from Device. Minute 30 and NIP start to reposition Snacks. Does he dare go aggressive?
That setup was sick, and now you have 3 straight into ramp. Nice molly to force him off the angle as well. Don't even need to peek key. You can just leave him behind. Now it's going to be Snacks, but we should have that smoke. No, we don't have a smoke. Now it goes down. Smoke goes down, but Snacks is going to try and play past it.
Oh, that's a lovely flick from Snacks, but doesn't want to stay in the bomb sites alone for too long. Help is on the way, though. And now the numbers are tied. Kylar just creeping and playing side, looking for a transfer, but taking out the bomb planter instead. Plopsky spraying all over the shop, just preempting positions, and down goes Snacks, leaving Mino alone. Some slight tagging through the vents. He knows where one of the players is now. The HE is out, but he can't find the angle. Device elevating his position. That's going to be a really hard kill to find for Mino. Just going on a big run here, but the trade's going to be instant from Plopsky, surely. What? Device at 25 HP, the USP is out. Surely he can't do this. It's so awkward for both squads. Running out of bullets and running out of health as well. That is a tense round, and it goes the way of Ninjas in Pajamas.
Nuts round. What a clutch! And there you go, Bardolph. That's why you pay the big bucks. Device was ready for it. Bait and switch, and Device. What a round from him. Plopsky also with that second spray through decon. That's so nuts that he gets that kill through the smoke. What a read on his part. That made it all possible. But Device keeping it cool. 20 kills for Device. Takes the lead on the server behind Plopsky. Oh, I mean, Plopsky is actually at 19 right now. So the firepower is there, and we're starting to see some players pop off for NIP that we really haven't seen do too much work lately. So good on them.
The Plop Man.
Yeah, he's going in.
Very unassuming nickname from a British point of view, but very dangerous player. Solid team player for Ninjas in Pajamas.
You guys can't throw shade when one of the, I'm not going to repeat the name, but, well, I mean, one of the greatest commentators is called Tosspot, for crying out loud. Let's not throw shade, British commentators.
Minute 13 on the clock. Hampus creeping around the smoke. Great angle from Key. Delivers the kill as well.
Oh.
Very, very important round for both squads, and it's NIP running out of steam. They're in eco territory, and this one becomes even more difficult to turn around. Anonymo now with 497 HP versus 2 Swedish players.
A single smoke grenade, but I mean, at the end of the day here, that's not going to factor too much into it. There's a hail of bullets ready and waiting to get thrown at these ninjas as they go out onto the upper side. Perfect positioning from Mino, ready for the vent drop. Catches him, and that is going to put Nip in a dark place. Hard eco territory here for NIP. At least NIP, they still have a little margin for error. It's not done just yet. They can let Anonymo get up to 13, go for the buy in the next one. And as I say that, they go for the forced buy. So it's all in now for NIP. They are just going at it. This is a play where Anonymo would get onto 14 rounds if it goes to the next round. It's not too hot here. Plopsky out in the yard. Very quick play. Nice HE. Tremendous HE.
Tremendous is a great word to describe that HE. High explosive. And there's a nice spread as well. Rez barely walking at this point, barely running. Plenty of sound cues for Minio. He will raise the alarm and Snacks will post up. They cannot have a slip up here, Anonymo. This is real important. I want to see Mirage. NIP don't, however.
I think we all want to see Mirage, yeah. Device on Mirage, what do you think of that?
Rez and Klopsky, last men standing. Well, there have been 2 kills in this round, and Rez has a chance to get a third at the very least. It won't happen on this occasion. Anonymo moved to 13. That was a big buy from Ninjas in Pyjamas. And Anonymo now in a strong position to make it to 14 rounds. The odd Deagle will be purchased, but they're looking pretty damn good. There's a big string of CT rounds. Again, winning both pistols has certainly helped, but they are close to the finish line, Anonymo.
This is within striking distance, but again, this was the gamble that Nip took, and we should expect to see Anonymo get up to 14 rounds. And at that point, Nip are going to have to play perfectly. But it's also a question of Anonymo playing with, well, confidence. Are they going to be able to close it out? Can they finish the job and take us to a third map? Another thing that we have to wait and see. Snacks again.
Oh my God, well, how could you do that?
Sit down.
I saw it in my mind's eye, but I didn't believe it was going to happen. But it bloody well did, didn't it?
Having that angle is just so brutal. Keep in mind that Hampus sees him a split second before, so Hampus sees him full on before Snacks even sees a shadow of Hampus there. So just the way it works, and Hampus taking full advantage of that angle. Brilliant work.
As long as I'm not the person on the receiving end of it, I love them. I think they're hilarious.
But when you are,
I've never been picked like that in my life.
Hampus, though, he's going to take a bit of damage, but now they're going to be able to move together, and now you've given Device the AWP. If somehow Nip were to find a way here.
Oh, my God. I was just thinking, he's so committed there. He's so committed. And there are 5 Nip players alive. Like, how many kills is enough from that spot? Because he's not going anywhere. 35 seconds, and Anonymo have got, like, they've got some money considerations here. They kind of need to keep these weapons alive no matter what, but they might do better than that. 24 seconds. That's a big smoke grenade. Device needs to think about what he wants to do with this AWP as well. 15 seconds to plant the bomb. And they need to die here. They have to die these Ts, and Anonymo will service their request. I guess it's better than giving them the AWP. So that got very dangerous for a while, but here we are, Anonymo with 14 rounds.
Oh, and just not enough for that op. Unless you were to go glass cannon. Device could go glass cannon, but it is going to be the full buy. AKs, full set of nades, everything that they need. And what looked like a promising situation there, unfortunately, Nip just started running out of time. They tried to perhaps get a little bit too complicated with the rotate back up to the upper site, hoping to take advantage of Anonymous rotating defense around. And instead, well, they're just going to get caught in the open. But now, Hampus, once again, setting up in yard. And this time there's lobby control for NIP. So do they elect to go to ramp and actually go ahead and say hello? Snacks has rotated around over there.
Minio's a leg man. Want to see some shoe action. But again, how many kills is enough here? 0, in fact. Big risk taken by Minio. At 14 to 12 as well.
Players are too dialed up on that now. It's getting abused too much, the smoke bug, where, well, smoke bug, it's not a bug, it's just the way it works. And so players are sitting in smokes more and more and more, and I think that, you know, players are just getting so used to reacting to that.
Snacks is in trouble. This is the time to land the shots. It really is, and he's missed 3 of them, and he's alone. I don't know if help is on the way, but oh my God, Anonymo just being dismantled in round 27, and their economy can't really stand it. Really put himself at the point of no return, as Minio did the same behind the smoke on the ramp, and Snacks completely committed to dying on a sword on the B bomb site behind a pillar like that. Misses 3 shots in a row. Looking so good with the AWP, but this is not the time to capitulate.
Well, again, it's a question of whether or not Anonymo are going to, let's say, have the poise to get it done, to keep their cool and get it done, and actually lock this down versus NIP. Tournament life, well, not tournament life just yet, but upper bracket life on the line here for Anonymo. And you do not want to drop down into the lower bracket. You run the risk of getting eliminated and sent home.
beasts down there.
Yeah, it's
Some
not
wild beasts.
It's not pretty in the depths of the lower bracket. You want to stay up here in the sunlight of the upper bracket. Yeah, that's just a tough say. I mean, it's actually kind of canceled out because they're both standing in the smoke. So then it's just like, hey, who's going to be quick?
The problem is, like, if there are people there, if there's more than one person there, what is 1-for-1 enough for the CTs? There's no one else on the ramp. He could have had maybe like an AWP posted up behind him or something to help like control the situation if there are assailants there. But
I think 1-for-1 is enough in that scenario.
For the CTs?
Yeah. Because so long as you're trading and getting the info, I think that's enough. Because you have snacks to keep to anchor the lower side. He'd already rotated down, right? So at least if you're taking one out of the picture and you get the info, that may be enough of a trade. But,
yeah, but how long is that info good for? With the time on the clock.
There's the eternal question, Bardo.
Well then, Anonymo have eked out a buy in round 28. They've got pretty reasonable grenades as well. The AWP continues. Snacks will offer some support grenades for Minio on the ramp. The device seeks. He looks for something. Innocent has found the ZTR, however. So that's a really nice early kill for Anonymo. Exactly what they need as they look to take us towards Mirage.
It's a lot of what they've been getting. These early kills, these early advantages. Oh, actually not. No slouch on that map, on that pick. 73% win rate when they've got the man advantage on the CT side here for Anonymo. I mean, that's going to be an uphill fight for NIP, no matter how you cut it. But NIP have had a couple of rounds go their way despite being down a man. We're getting very light on the utility, though. We have some flashes to work with here for NIP, but a single smoke. Now we get to see it's going to be pressure at ramp, and Snacks is going to get challenged. This time he hits it.
He's ready again through the corner of the wall. Device, in the meantime, is putting some damage in. Hold on a second. This game is turning around. The bomb needs to be collected, though, and Minio's doing what he can to try and stop this. Device with 27 seconds to make a play. One downstairs and one up. Where is Kyler? He's in the lobby position. Device has got a chance, but he better be quick. Does he commit to this? Looks like he is. Kyler, will he wait for his teammate? Starting to swing now. The flashbang is out for Device, and game point is with Anonymo.
Outrageous that he actually manages to pull that off. Yeah, game point. Here we go. Mirage on the line, and we may actually get what we were hoping for. We may actually get to see Device. Maui Snake was really hitting this home, you know, on the desk going into this one. Device on Mirage for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, that is going to be very interesting if we make it there. But let's see. There is money for Ninja's Pajamas to buy in this round. Innocent with a very good opening kill there, spraying through Squeaky, lining up for Device, but the trades were, there was fighting all over the map at that point. If there's 2 kills on the kill feed, they thought maybe NIP had a chance, and they had a chance, but Anonymo had more personnel. Huge round now. You can see some shortcomings in the economy for Anonymo. Key's got the MP9 in this round. 5 AKs on deck for Ninjas in Pajamas, not prioritizing the AWP on the T side. And they go very quickly indeed. Rez taking out Key again. Big risk taken towards the end of this. And that might not pay off for Anonymo.
Whoa, shoots right over his teammate's shoulder? What was that? Bold play there from Snacks, managing to bring it back to a 4-on-4. A Device creeping in. Loses the duel. 12 health left on Innocent. Gets out of dodge. This is definitely going to be problematic now for NIP. Low on the utility. 2 smokes to work with. And really just trying to stick together so that they can actually get some trades. But look at this. Minio, man. Nasty position. If he were to peek now, Nip would find themselves in dire straits.
Yeah, I mean, they're still in dire straits. They're in trouble. They're in a really bad spot here, Nip. They've got sub 1 minute as they try and decide where to go, trying to edge towards, oh boy, there's one found, and Minio will just fall back, play the time. 4 versus 2, try and play the numbers with his teammates. There are so many different places he could be now. Pops out, but he does get popped by Plopsky, and now he's got the information, and time is much lower, so they can really play with this. Molly in the vent, but Snacks is here with the AWP. Kylar's taken so much damage to get towards this bomb site. Snacks with a flick now, leaving Plopsky. And he's got 2 more to find. 19 seconds, and we've got a CT by Deacon through the door for Kylar. And indeed, we head to Mirage.
16-13 win. Clearly, it was a bit closer, no doubt about it. It wasn't as one-sided as Nip's map pick, where Nip were clearly at home. Here on Anonymo, though, they had a game plan, and they managed to stick to it. They keep their cool, and what looked a little dicey there towards the end, they still play with the aggression. Instead of giving too much respect to NIP and letting Nip start to dictate the rounds in the end, Anonymo, they do their work, and they play aggressive. They keep the fight going towards Nip. That's the real thing to take away there. So this bodes well for Mirage.